Ahoy, Minnetonka! I'm David Law, Superintendent of Minnetonka Schools. Thank you for joining us for this episode of our district podcast, Ahoy, Minnetonka. Today we're talking about the VANTAGE Advanced Professional Studies program at Minnetonka High School. Joining us today are three students from VANTAGE. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and the strands that they're in. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Aaron Duong. This year I'm a 12th grader and I am in the Health Sciences VANTAGE strand.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Juhi Kutty. I am in Global Business. I am a junior at Minnetonka.
Okay.
My name is Joes. I'm also a junior and I'm involved in public policy.
Okay. What other things are you involved with at the high school? Is VANTAGE the kind of thing that you can do that and nothing else, or can you still do other activities?
No, VANTAGE is just one aspect of my life at Minnetonka. I'm also the club leader of the Wool Besties Club. I'm an academic anchor. I'm a first mate, and I'm involved in orchestra as well.
Wow. Juhi?
I am a DECA officer. That's something I found out about last year, and it was just such a great fit for me, and now I'm an officer, and it's just been such a privilege to work with our giant club.
Yeah.
We have almost 200 members.
Oh, yeah.
It's been amazing. And then in addition to that, I'm also a DSU leader, so that's Stacy Student Union, and I get to work with so many other. We have one other junior and then I think 4 seniors that are on the board, and that's just been such a great experience because it's really a community of kids at the high school that's just, it's kind of secluded and you don't know about it, but once you get there it's just such an inclusive community that I've really grown to love.
Awesome.
And I'm also a figure skater, so that's something that's really important to me.
Wow. Joss?
Yeah, I'm captain of Science Olympiad, which has been so much fun this year. And I'm also involved in Minnetonka research. I'm doing a project in earth science. And in addition to that, I'm a coach at the Writing Center.
You could probably do a whole show just on those other activities you mentioned. We might have to come back to that. Joss, why did you pick public policy?
Well, I know I'm not going to be a lawyer, and I didn't think I was going to be a politician, but as like a scientist, I've always really wanted to be like a scientist for the government or do work that informs policy, because I can see, like moving between states, I've seen what like even local policy can do and how those changes impact people. So, yeah.
All right. How about you, Juhi?
For me, honestly, it was DECA. So my registration for sophomore year, I had a spot for an elective and I didn't know what to fill in there. So I just picked one of our business courses at random and it ended up being money banking and investing. And the teacher of that class, Miss Benson, she said that the class seemed like a really good fit for me, and she also happened to be a DECA advisor. So she encouraged me to join the club and get involved, and that's exactly what I did. And I found out it's something I'm really good at, I'm really passionate about it, and it's been such a journey, and I'm so lucky that I found out about that, because it was a complete fluke. Had I not accidentally chosen money banking and investing, I would not be in global business right now.
So it's a good idea to take a risk on things, you're saying?
Absolutely.
It's good because it's a registration window, so people might see that. Aaron, what strand are you in this year, and how'd you pick it?
So this year I am in Health Sciences. I picked it because I know as I'm going into college, I'm a senior this year, I know I wanted to either look into studying environmental science or health sciences. I'm a second year VANTAGE student, so I took global sustainability last year, and it just worked out perfectly that VANTAGE has the 2 top interests of mine. So I took global sustainability last year, was super interested, had a ton of fun, but it's not something, I found out that I didn't want to actually study it in college, and now I'm looking into health sciences, and it's been a perfect fit so far. I've absolutely loved every aspect of it, and it's what I'm going to be studying in college as well.
Yeah. So I hear all of you saying through VANTAGE you found your passion. That's good. What makes VANTAGE classes different than what is in the traditional coursework?
You're given a lot more freedom to decide like exactly how you want to do things, because in like a normal class at the high school, you're given a project and your teacher is like, do this and then this and then this and then this. But for group projects at VANTAGE, you kind of have a vague objective that we're trying to achieve, and we don't know necessarily in what format or how to achieve it. And discovering that freedom has been really cool.
I think the big difference that I experienced from the high school to VANTAGE was just how flexible and fluid the program is. There's structure, but it's very different from the structure that you experience at the high school. At the high school, it's very, you go from 1 hour to your next, and then that's the structure you follow. But at Vantage, we have rotations for our different classes. So my strand, Global Business, has 3 classes: AP Microeconomics, IB Business Management, and then AP Seminar. So some days we may not have seminar at all, and we'll just have IB Business and AP Micro, as we call it. But other days we'll have all 3 classes, or some days we'll have a guest instructor or a site visit, and we won't have any of those classes at all. And that was something really different that I experienced, because typically here you just have the same 6 classes every single day and there's no real change. But at Vantage, it's so fluid and flexible, and I've really enjoyed it.
So a lot of variety.
Yes, yes.
Aaron, anything to add about what's different?
Yeah, just touching a little bit on what he said, there is a ton of variety in Vantage, and that's what I think makes it so much more immersive than the high school. You pick your strand and you basically live and breathe it every single day. Outside just the normal coursework of like the 2 or 3 classes that build up your strand, you also have a professional mentor that you get to work with, and they also live and breathe in their profession, the exact strand that you're working on. You have guest instructors who are also professionals in their field coming to talk to you about things they're passionate about and things that relate to your strand as well. So basically you're immersed in that strand, you're immersed in that topic almost 24/7, and that's what really makes Vantage special.
Tell me a little bit about your mentors. Just who is your mentor and how often do you connect with them? Aaron?
So my mentor is Dr. Meshia. He's an ears, nose, throat physician and surgeon. And we meet on a monthly basis. Actually, last month we met twice, and I shadowed him, which is another bonus that I get by doing health sciences. I shadowed him in his clinic and in the OR, so I got to see some really cool surgeries. And yeah, that's kind of what I do with my mentor.
Oh, you do, your mentor?
So my mentor, her name is Mrs. Nesseth, and she's a sales executive for Elanco, which is an animal health company. And at first, when I first saw, our teachers recommended that we Google them and look at our LinkedIn to see just a little bit of background information before we actually get to meet our mentor. And I was initially really confused why they would pair me with somebody who works for an animal health company. But then I learned there's so much more to her job, and she's really passionate about animals and veterinary things. And seeing her passion for what she does has just been so eye-opening, because even though she's not herself in the veterinary industry, she's not actively practicing that, she's super heavily involved in something she's incredibly passionate about. And from her, I've learned a lot about leadership, teamwork, and listening to other people, which is a skill that you're also learning in company projects and things like that. But connecting with a mentor who's on the professional side of this world just gives you a different perspective, because they've been in there, they know what it's like, and they know that different side of the world.
Oh, yeah, my mentor is Dr. Jessica Tobin, who's an academic researcher in education policy, and that has been really cool because I've always been kind of interested in education policy, but I've really gotten to see how much it means to me through her. And I read a draft of a paper that's being edited right now, so I've really discovered how deep the world of education policy is and how teachers are trained. I think that's really cool, and I'm excited to learn more from her through the rest of the year. One of the most important things I've learned from her so far was when she came into my class and actually listened to a group present a policies speech, the AI policies speech. And I really, through that, improved my presentation skills, even just the slide formatting, because this researcher who presents all the time, she had a lot of feedback.
Closer to the end, I want to make sure you get a chance to understand your projects. What was your project this past fall?
So I got to work with Flagstone, which is a senior living facility in Eden Prairie. We got paired one-on-one with the seniors who lived there, and it was a project around just building connections with the senior community, learning more about their sense of purpose and their sense of community and how that's changed over their lifetime, because it also related to what we were learning in developmental psychology about the way a person's social relationships can affect them throughout their lifetime.
Well, what was your project?
So we worked with a company called Pathful, which is a college and career resource and planning company. And it was my third choice of project. And then I learned later on, as we got through the semester, we got the best project, hands down. It was amazing. I really loved it. And We were a team of 4, so typically project teams are a team of 5, but in a team of 4, I think I got to know everybody else really intimately, and I made some friends that I never would have otherwise. I would have never talked to them had we not been on the same team, so that was pretty special. But for Pathful, what they wanted us to do was design what they call a lifestyle calculator. So based on certain input factors, it would give you results. And it was meant to help you determine, okay, what career do I want to have to get me the lifestyle I want? Because a lot of people know what kind of life they want to live, whether they want to travel a lot or live in a big city or in the suburbs or the location they want to live in, but they don't know the career that will allow them to live the lifestyle that they want. So we were helping them design that from a user interface aspect and what types of questions and how to keep that really engaging, because the target audience was high schoolers and we're the exact fit for that. So it worked out really well.
Wow.
Oh, that's so sick. I didn't understand how broad like global business
Right?
project topics could be. For public policy, we were paired with a food bank, Second Harvest Heartland, that works just in Minnesota to supply like food shelves, and we were researching like different policies that could be used to reduce the size of food deserts, especially in the metro area. And after we did our initial research, we interviewed some like representatives and senators to figure out what food-related policies were going to be on the agenda, like coming into the session, and then we presented and shared, like gave them a sneak peek to the organization to see what policies they wanted to jump on and what organizations they could also work with. And we also had Representative Andrew Myers come to that as well.
Nice. Is Vantage fun?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It sounds amazing. It sounds like a class that everyone would love. Before I get to this question about advice, I know you talked about being in a competition. Tell me, what is a Vantage competition? How does it work? How does it all end up?
So for global business, the competition that we do is called Shark Tank, and it's exactly what it sounds like. If you've heard of the show Shark Tank, it's where there's a bunch of business entrepreneurs, and they pitch their idea to a bunch of very, I guess the word is serious investors. That's why they call them sharks. So we had our own version of that competition where we were placed into teams and then tasked with coming up with a business idea. And then based on that, we would build that, do financials, really focus on the marketing and how to bring that product to life or that service. And then we would present it in front of judges with 3 different rounds of competition.
Wow. It sounds amazing. So we're at registration time, and some of our audience could be students wondering about Vantage, and they might have heard something about it. What advice would you give students who are thinking about it? Now we'll work right down the line. Aaron?
I think when I was looking at Vantage, it seems really daunting because you have 2 to 3 classes built into your schedule. They're usually higher level college credit classes. You have to balance the mentor relationship, projects on top of your normal schoolwork. And I think if that seems daunting, don't let that be the reason you don't take Vantage. Vantage has shown me so much more than I think I would have seen if I just stayed in the high school. Not saying that that's bad, but Vantage really just like opens your eyes to like what you can do in the professional world, how flexible and fluid it is, and just how many options are out there. So it's been really rewarding for me, and I've gained a lot of insight into what I want to do in the future, just by like kind of taking a chance and not letting like a seemingly large workload daunt me.
Juhi.
I would say the one thing that's really special about Vantage is the fact that it's its own community in itself. You get to know everybody you're with, and it's just so special to share that with everybody else who's as passionate about it as you are. And as Aaron mentioned, it's super flexible, fluid, and taking a chance. If you're thinking about it, just do it. And as he mentioned earlier, even if you're vaguely interested in something, go for it, because more often than not, you're going to end up loving it, and it's going to be a really great fit for you.
Sounds like a marketing model. Jos?
Yeah, public policy was something that I was like really unsure about, and it was kind of like an impulsive decision to like click on it when I was like registering for classes in Skyward. But I'm really glad I did, and through it I learned that the professional world is really like interdisciplinary. Like even if you don't have a career that's just in your strand, I know that whatever my future job is, like I will be using the things I learned about government in public policy, because the core Vantage strands are big enough that they really apply to everything.
Wow. Well, I'm inspired. I'm envious that there wasn't a program like this when I was in school, and I appreciate you sharing your experiences in Vantage with us. It's been great I think for me, and I learn something new every time I talk about it, but specifically for our community. So thank you for being here today. And I want to thank you and our community for joining us with these amazing students to talk about our Vantage program for advanced professional studies. Consider joining us as a mentor or learning more about it. Thank you for joining our podcast also of Ahoy, Minnetonka. We'll see you around.